Elena Reyes had always believed in loyalty. She had stood beside Marcus Reyes for 11 years, through the early days when he was just a hungry young entrepreneur with a second-hand suit and a borrowed office. She had ironed his shirts, memorized his coffee order, sacrificed her own career in architecture so she could be the steady ground beneath his rising empire. Now Marcus was CEO of Reyes Global. Skyscrapers bore his logo. Magazines called him visionary. Women called him something else entirely. Elena found out on a Tuesday. It was an ordinary morning. Gray sky, cold coffee, the distant sound of the city waking up outside their penthouse window. A plain white envelope had been slipped under the front door. No name, no return address. She almost threw it away. Inside were photographs. 12 of them. Marcus in his office. Marcus in a hotel corridor. Marcus laughing with his head tilted back the way he used to laugh only with her. 3 different women, all young, all employees of Reyes Global. Elena sat on the marble floor for a long time, not crying, not screaming, just looking, memorizing every face, every timestamp printed in the corner of each photo. Then she stood up, smoothed her dress, and picked up her phone. Daniel Cho worked out of a small office above a dry cleaner on 5th. No flashy sign, no website, just a business card that said D. Cho, private inquiries, and a reputation that spread only by whisper. Elena found him through a friend of a friend. "I need everything," she told him, sitting across his cluttered desk, hands folded perfectly in her lap. Every woman, every hotel, every company card he used to pay for it, every gift, every lie, every secret. Daniel studied her. He had worked for scorned spouses before, weeping ones, raging ones, broken ones. Elena Reyes was none of those things. She was calm in the way a storm is calm before it makes landfall. "This will cost you," he said. "Name your price." She slid a check across the desk without blinking. "And double it if you're done in 2 weeks. Daniel looked at the number. Then he looked at her. 3 affairs, he said slowly. All active, all with Reyes Global employees. His personal assistant, the head of marketing, and a junior analyst on the 22nd floor. Elena didn't flinch. Not once. "I want proof of all 3, she said. "Bank records, messages, hotel receipts. I want it airtight." She rose from the chair and buttoned her coat. "My husband has a company shareholder gala in 14 days. Black tie, 500 guests, live press coverage." She picked up her handbag. "That is where I will expose him." Elena had not been idle in 11 years. People assumed she had simply become a trophy. Polished, decorative, silent. They were wrong. While Marcus built his company, Elena had quietly studied business law, corporate governance. She knew every clause of their marriage contract, every asset, every share. She had said nothing. She had waited, not for betrayal, but simply because the time had never been right. Now the time had arrived, gift wrapped in a white envelope. She met with her lawyer on Wednesday. She opened her own account on Thursday. On Friday, she walked into Reyes Global Tower for the first time in years, wearing a cream blazer and dark sunglasses, and smiled warmly at the receptionist who did not recognize the CEO's wife without her usual background role. She observed, she listened. She watched Marcus's personal assistant, Jade, 26, sharp eyes, nervous hands, move through the office like she owned a secret. She watched the head of marketing laugh too loudly at Marcus's jokes in a glass-walled meeting room. "I see you," Elena thought. "I see all of you." She felt no hatred toward these women. Marcus had chosen to make visas. They had not. Her war was with him alone. The Grand Callaway Hotel gleamed on a Saturday night. Chandeliers blazed. Champagne moved in golden rivers between gloved hands. Cameras from 3 business publications waited at the entrance. Elena arrived last. She wore red. Deep, unapologetic red, a gown that Marcus had never seen before because she had bought it 3 days ago for exactly this moment. Her hair was up, her chin was level, and in her small clutch bag was a USB drive that Daniel Cho had delivered that morning. Marcus spotted her across the room and smiled, surprised, pleased. He crossed toward her with open arms. "Elena, I didn't know you were—" "Of course you didn't," she said pleasantly, and kissed his cheek. She let him steer her through the crowd, shaking hands, accepting compliments, playing the devoted CEO's wife one final time. At 9 o'clock, Marcus took the stage to address his shareholders. The room fell quiet. Cameras turned toward him. Elena walked calmly to the AV technician she had paid, generously, 2 days prior, and handed him the USB drive. Marcus's voice filled the ballroom. Reyes Global was built on a foundation of trust, integrity, and partnership. The screen behind him changed. Bank statements, hotel receipts, hundreds of text messages, names clearly visible. A timeline, meticulous, dated, damning, of 3 simultaneous affairs with 3 of his own employees, all paid for quietly through company funds. The room did not erupt immediately. There was first a terrible silence, the kind that falls when 500 people understand something at exactly the same moment. Then came the whispers. Then the camera flashes. Marcus turned to look at the screen. The color left his face entirely. Elena set her champagne glass down on a passing tray and walked toward him through the parting crowd. She stopped close enough that only he could hear her. 11 years, she said quietly. I ironed your shirts, Marcus. She placed her wedding ring on the edge of the podium. Then Elena Reyes turned, walked through the grand doors of the Callaway Hotel, and stepped out into the cool night air. Her lawyer was already on the phone. The divorce papers were already filed, and half of Marcus Reyes's shares, her shares, the ones she had secured quietly and legally in the weeks before, were already in her name. She took a breath. She smiled. Now, she thought, we begin.